This video is going to be about the CQ, vertical, and horizontal line indicators. There's two indicators. You can see them here. There's the vertical, horizontal. They can be positioned in any of the corners, or they can be positioned down here in this sub-window. The main thing you have to remember about this indicator is this awareness setting. There's three different settings. For example, if you select local, it's going to allow you to draw lines. For example, right now we're on the Aussie-Swiss 4-hour, and you put a line right here, move it wherever you want, change to the Aussie CAD. That line that you drew on this chart is not there, but you can draw. You can put your own, put a different color down here, and you can go back and forth. You can do this with any one of these. It will not share across any of the other charts. It will only work with this chart. The next awareness setting is global. This one allows you to share vertical lines and horizontal lines on both these charts. For example, if right now they're both at the Aussie CAD, this can be on the daily or the 4-hour, for example. And if you add one here, it adds it over here at the same position. But this is the daily chart, for example, over here. This is the 4-hour. If you move it, okay, got to move it far enough. Maybe if I go over here and move it. Do you see what I'm saying? For example, testing a couple different systems. Using one system, you're just changing the settings, and you want to have a vertical line to know when to get in or get out. That's what you can use this for. So while we're here on this, the one caveat that we have here is it says use different lines for each frame or each time frame. If this is set to yes, what it's going to do is it's going to allow you to have different lines on different time frames. So this is the 4-hour. We can put it back here, and if I switch now to the daily, you don't see it. Put a different color over here. Go back to the 4-hour. The 4-hour one's there. And this will allow you to do the same thing. But if you're sharing any of the vertical lines, what you have to do is they have to have the same setting. So if you want to have different vertical lines or horizontal lines on the different time frames, then both of these charts, for example, would have that set to yes, which is this. Okay. And right now, let's put this one to the 4-hour. You can see it. And if you grab this and move it, it'll move it. Now, if you switch to the daily, moving this here, that's not the same line. It's a different line. Oops. This one's the same line. So now if you move this, okay, and the horizontal lines, you can do the same thing. If I had a red line there. But with the horizontal and the vertical lines, you can do the same thing. You can have different lines on different time frames, or have it so that it just has it on the chart. You can have the same lines on the chart, and no matter what the time frame is, and it will move it for you over there. So, or reposition the line, not the chart. The next one is global all. This is the one that is closest to what MT4 normally has. You put a line on a chart, and no matter what currency, what symbol or time frame you have, that line stays in that position. This will also allow you to share the global all across both of these charts, and it will be no matter what the time frame, unless you have this set here. I forgot about that. If you have this set, it will draw different lines on different time frames. But if you leave this to off, to no, and you put this to global all, and you do the same thing over here, put that to global all, and this is off, then position lines, and you can change to this, and those two lines are going to stay, or you can go down here, this one or that one, and you can do the same over here, same thing. So those are the three modes, and that's basically the indicator. You can see here that you can turn them on and off. These three plus signs, what they line up with are these default colors. There's a couple ways you can do the colors, but this is the normal default way, or you can change these colors, and you can change this and this stuff. You can change all that to whatever you want. And that's what the first button does, the first color and type. Second one is the second color. Third one is the third color. Same thing for the horizontal line. Except I guess I had that set to red, which normally I don't. And then the minus, this is how you remove them. If you remove them by clicking on it and removing it, it may not remove it. At some point it probably will remove it, but if you want to remove them, try using the minus sign. When you change a line, like for example, this is an important time right here, and you want to change it. This is where you make it red, for example. You want, okay, when it gets to this candle, or in back testing or whatever, I want it to be big and red. It doesn't, if you go like this, like if you change the color of the candle, it doesn't change it over here, but it will if you do this. Just move it a little bit. It just has to have that to happen. So if that's what you want. And the same thing with the horizontal lines. So if you had a particular level you're interested in, it will do, can do that. This dot here, it will lock the vertical lines in place if you hit that one. And if you unlock it, you can move it. This will select the line, like which it is right now, or deselect them. And for example, if you had them all, like a number of different lines here, and you hit select and then deselect, that's what that does. And then this, you notice down here, it moves it. And it moves it on this side. It does the same thing over here. This sends it to the back, and that is where you can see them. So, anyway, in essence, I think that's... the only other thing is when you're doing the default colors, you can switch to this color list. And what it's going to do is it will cycle through this list here. Whatever colors you have here, every time you add a line, it will use a different color. And that's just in case you have all the same colored lines or you're trying to sort things out. I decided to add this. And then this is where you can move it to a different sub-window. I'll put the little sub-window indicator. It's just a blank spacer there. And you can, this is where you can position if it's on the main chart. If it's on the sub-window down here, it's this right upper side over here. And then you can move them horizontally or vertically. Then this is where you can change the orientation. And if you want to delete all the lines, you don't want to use the minus sign, just go like this and it deletes them. But make sure that you go back and set this to no when you're done, because otherwise if you start changing symbols, it's going to erase all those lines. So that's it.